Again, like I said, kind of a younger group this year, but again, they are very, very talented.
Defending national champions?
Back-to-back champions in 3A. So, again, they will, of course, they've got their football, which features songs by Metallica.
Enter Sandman?
Enter Sandman, a little...
Can the fans start jumping up and down there in J. Fred?
I don't know. It's going to be exciting. Place is going to be rocking. I know that very much. So, again, like I said, shout out to him and to all bands, to all players. Chris, 2023. It's hard to believe. Again, like I said, we traced our roots back, did some things in 2013. Our first official year was 2014 in terms of broadcasting, but we've been in business for 10 years, broadcasting for 9 of them. Hard to believe we've got this far. This is your 5th, by the way.
My 5th year? Okay. Yep. I lost track. I was thinking earlier today, it seems, in some ways, it seems like this offseason has flown by, but then in other ways, it seems like it was more than 6 weeks ago when we were over there in Rye Cove calling that game for them. I mean, that seems like 3 or 4 months ago. It was really only about 6 weeks, but yet it seems like we just turned around from when we were in Lebanon with Gate City softball. It's kind of been a weird summer.
It has been, and again, Gate City getting started here. Again, the VHSL starting up here in just again, like I said, right now. So here on the July.
Started at 12 o'clock.
Started at 12 o'clock. We're 1 hour, 22 minutes into July the 27th. Special day. Region D, 12 teams vying for 8 spots. Again, they will be Wise Central, Gate City, Graham, John Battle, Lebanon, Lee, Marion, Richlands, Ridgeview, Tazewell, Union, and Virginia High. Gate City, again, was the number 4 seed last year. They took on Union, beat them 21-14 here in the playoffs, and then, again, turn around and lost to the eventual state champions in the Graham G-Men on the carpet up in Bluefield, your favorite place in the world.
Snow's probably melted by now, hasn't it?
No. Good chance of snow, high of about 40 tomorrow at Graham. So we take a look at the region. Graham, right now, clearly on number 1. People are already talking about them making a return trip back to Salem. They are impressive. Once again, senior-laden ball team. They, of course, had only 6 seniors last year.
And they got a couple transfers, I heard.
They got transfers, a couple guys that was ineligible. Now they're going to be playing this year, so they look to be. But I think that Gate City is right there, of course, win the Mountain 7 possibility. I mean, that's not out of the realm of impossibility of things that could happen. Again, it's going to be tough, though. Coach Outside, I know, didn't want to play into that, but I've already talked to a couple media members. Gate City seems to be in the crosshairs because they hadn't beat Abington in a couple of years. They beat them last year. They beat Union twice. They beat Lee. Of course, they beat John Battle. That's
well, I like Coach Houseride's mentality. I mean, you just look at your next game. Just worry about the next game, and the wins and losses will take care of themselves.
And, of course, they beat Wise Central, which is always kind of bittersweet.
Yes. It's always a good thing.
I know that's a pretty big rivalry as well. Again, they beat them last year up there. So, of course, you're talking about Marion out of the Southwest District. Richlands, Tazewell. Tazewell is a team. Don't sleep on them this year. Creasy, a quarterback. He is coming back. Again, was just a freshman last year. He's a sophomore. A lot of young signal callers. Ridgeview's got a young quarterback also playing. Virginia High, of course, their quarterback graduated. However, they've got one in the wings. They said it's just as good. We're talking about Lebanon. We saw the tall quarterback last year. His name escapes me, but he can throw it all over the country. So a lot of good signal callers. And, of course, we've got Luke Bledsoe here, our senior for Gate City.
I forgot about that Lebanon quarterback. He was throwing 50-yard passes, wasn't he? Yeah.
Lehigh, Pendergraft in that group. Again, like I said, they're young. They're back. It's going to be an uphill climb. I mean, it's going to be a tough region to come out of once again, I believe.
Yeah, and Lee, they really impressed me in baseball this past year, and I'm just assuming that probably a lot of those boys that play baseball are going to be out of football. They were really athletic. I know Gate City beat them last year in football, but they kind of got a little bit of revenge in the regular season of baseball, but they were a really athletic group, so I look for them to be improved this year.
again, we're talking about Ridgeview did win the district last year in the Mountain 7. So as we take a look at the schedule, it's not easy, but it's doable, but it's not easy. Richlands on the road, that's always a tough place to play. Of course, it was just a few years ago they got that big win, kind of catapulted them back onto the scene.
55-yard field goal.
Yeah.
You remember that?
My goodness. They kept playing around. They were up 9-3, Richlands was, and Gate City, of course, came back, got the big win. That ball game ended up being a 27-20 victory for the Blue Devils, but talked about this as well with Coach Housewright. They've got a 3-game home stretch. I think they've really got to be successful, coming out of those first 4 games, 1 on the road, and again, like I said, 1 district game. They've got to come out of that with a little bit of momentum, pretty healthy, because, again, after that, you look at Union, Tennessee High, and then you get back into the district schedule to close out the year.
Well, that home stretch you were talking about, it's Middlesboro, Abington, and Marion, and they beat, was it last year they beat Marion, wasn't it?
Yep.
And took care of Abington last year.
Yep.
Middlesboro is kind of an unknown for us, but they have a chance to, if they can win all 3 of those games, they should hit the mid part of the season already in pretty good positioning for the playoffs if they can come away with those wins.
Again, and that's one thing, too. You take a look at the PowerPoint situation, of course. I know that strength of schedule, and it's like a theorem trying to figure out exactly what the strength of schedule and some things like that. However, as you mentioned, those are all AA schools. Abington, a AAA school, a lot of PowerPoints there. That really catapulted Gate City into the forefront of the playoff picture early in the season. They'll have to take care of business there as well. So, and of course, Tennessee High, a 4A school from Tennessee. So there's a lot of PowerPoints available for the Blue Devils if they were to get that.
I know I asked you this last year, but that was last year, and I can't remember. When they play a school out of state, like Tennessee, let's say Tennessee High, it's 4A school, do they get the equivalent of points as if it was a 4A Virginia school?
Yes, but they do not get anything for strength of schedule because the different state.
Okay.
They do get the win. They do get PowerPoints for it, just as if they beat a 4A school, but they do not get the strength of schedule because, again, they can't tabulate like Tennessee's.
So those 2, so they're playing 2 out-of-state teams, so that GC's not going to get any strength scheduling points off of those 2 games.
Right.
Then.
But again, Middlesboro is a AA. Tennessee High, though, is a 4A school, so you want to, again, get that. You take care of a Tennessee High team, you take care of Abington and a Middlesboro. You picked up a lot of PowerPoints as you do hit that the last 4 games of the season, which are all district games. So, again, I get into a lot of that too early, but that's my thing.
Yeah, I don't really start worrying about that until about Game 7.
I'm always that, okay, so if this team wins this here and this team beats this one, then all of a sudden.
Like I said a minute ago, just worry about Richlands right now. 1 game at a time.
Fall football is upon us. However, talking about fall sports, golf.
Next week,
August 1st, they will be at Glen Roque in Abington, taking on, again, the Falcons and some other squads that's going to show up. Last year, the youngest team in Mountain 7 was Gate City in golf. They have everybody back, so except for 1 golfer, so they look to improve. But, Chris, you can't look any further than the volleyball team if you're expecting some success. Again, all-state selection, player of the year, Michaela Bays. She's been all-state, I think, every year she's played. She comes back for a solid senior season. Good squad for Coach Amy Reed. They step out of conference. They've got Elizabeth and Daniel Boone, Science Hill volunteer on their schedule. Sky's the limit, I think, for the volleyball team this year. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they've pretty much got Salem as their end goal. I think anything less than that for them is going to be probably considered a disappointment.
I think they actually play in Richmond.
Is it Richmond? I thought they went to Salem also.
I think, but I'll have to check that again. Again, like I said, the volleyball team.
Well, they passed Salem to go to Richmond.
Ooh, saucy.
So maybe there's a Buc-ee's there. They can stop it. That's their goal or something.
No Buc-ee's in Virginia yet.
Oh, that's right. There's not, is it? They're building one on 84.
But they are building one.
Or no, it's on. It's right outside of Richmond, isn't it, where they're going to build it?
They're going to try to build it, yeah.
So when we go up there, we can stop in. You ever been to a Buc-ee's?
Oh, yeah.
I've been one time. It's all right.
I can't go back to the one in Indianapolis for another 6 months. But
I did get the barbecue there. Somebody told me to try it. It's pretty dang good. I mean, it's not Kane Street or Phil's Dream Pit level, but it wasn't bad.
It
wasn't bad.
Buc-ee's a good experience. But again, a shout out to our volleyball team. Again, a lot of anticipation for that group. Peyton Taylor and talk about that group. It's a good group. Also talking about a good group. Cross country is also new coach this year. Mara Mullins takes over for the girls and boys coach this year. Again, like I said, good luck to her. We'll have that schedule, and we'll post that, of course, on our website as well. And, of course, our academic team, 2 years ago, state champions. Last year, again, made it to the region once again. They've got everybody back. They were all they had no seniors on last year's squad, so they look to improve as well. And like I said, so we'll shout out to them. Band will be in action coming up here, of course. Like I said, we'll see them on Friday night with the Big Blue Bash. Cheerleaders, dance team. How about the dance team? Shout out to the dance team.
Yeah.
Had a good summer.
I bet they know the Beastie Boys.
I wonder if they do. We're going to have to get a Beastie Boys routine. I've got some. I've got some music, some mixes.
I had that there. What was the one? That
License
had the
to Heal.
airplane. Yes, I had the
License to Heal.
cassette.
Oh my goodness, I do as well, and still probably do. So, I may listen to that going home tonight. No sleep till Brooklyn. So,
Because you've got to fight for your right to celebrate your 50th birthday. Thought you were going to sneak out and buy me, didn't you?
yes.
Welcome to old age, my friend. We've been waiting for you.
Oh, unfortunate but true. Unfortunate but true. Yeah.
Yes, folks. Joe Carter at 12 o'clock hit the big 5-0.
I did. So where else would you rather be than on the radio, under the lights, on a football field for your birthday?
I don't know. I had to give a T and ready test on mine.
Yes, indeed. So, like I said, the birthday celebration. I mean, everybody came out just for my birthday. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Had fireworks for your birthday.
I mean, it's, it was.
Got cheerleaders come talk to you. Coach Newton, Coach Houseright.
It's been a biggie.
Yeah. I should have got the girls. I told them it was your birthday. You tried, like I said, you tried to sneak that by me.
And so maybe what we'll do is I'll show my age and go home and go to bed. So.
Yeah, it's about that time. Gosh, I couldn't tell you the last time I was up at 1:30. Unless I was getting up to go to the bathroom or something.
Attaboy.
Such a wild life I lead.
Want to also say something as well as you're listening to us probably on Spreaker right now or through the Gate City Sports Radio app online through our website. However, you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, YouTube. You can go to Google Podcast, CastBox. There are 11 different listening avenues that you can listen to Gate City Sports Radio.
I was impressed when you told me iHeart picked us up.
iHeart picks us up.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so you can go and you can go to iHeart and listen to any broadcast. Also, you can go back through the whole catalog. So if you miss something from last year, you want to listen to one of our calls, wherever, whenever, you can go back and listen to it. And you can do it on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, which is an Amazon company as well, Amazon Music, Podchaser, YouTube. YouTube did not pick up the catalog, but everything new moving forward will be on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
so
I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
You're just full of surprises for me tonight.
I'm trying my best. So, let's see here. Last but not least, I think we've hit them all. Pick to win the Mountain 7 outside of Gate City will be who? Got to take Gate City out of the equation.
I wish you told me you were going to ask me that so I could think about it.
It's the best kind.
My first instinct says Abingdon.